All right, everybody. Happy Saturday. What's up? It's Mike Gill. Glad that you're a part of the Saturday. Kind of a dreary day outside. All right, let's get into some things. Phillies playoff thoughts. Eagles Buccaneers this weekend. Crazy Major League Baseball weekend. And what else we got? By the way, while you were sleeping possibly last night, Carl Anthony Towns got traded to the Knicks. So I'll give you some quick thoughts on that. Sixers actually start training camp on Monday, and got some Sixer thoughts as well. So if you could kindly subscribe to the YouTube channel at Mike Gill Show, you will get videos like this and some other stuff, the live show during the week, but other short stuff will be going to the YouTube channel at Mike Gill Show. And of course, if you are watching on the X platform, which right now a bunch of you are. Thank you for that. If you're watching on the X platform, if you could kindly hit the like button, the repost button, and that would be awesome. And I would appreciate it. If you want to comment, you can certainly click the video and it'll say something, and you can type your thoughts in there. If you're watching on YouTube, you can comment in the YouTube, and we will be able to check that out over here. If you just want to watch along, Phillies thoughts. They lost 9-1 last night. Don't care about the loss more than Ranger Suarez. You have one more chance, Ranger, to show the Phillies that they should have some sort of confidence in you, and you didn't give him any last night. It was a rough inning for Ranger. I mean, that first inning, they even talked about it during the broadcast, whether or not he was even going to get through the first inning. He was up at 40 pitches. He went out and finished the second inning. But that first inning was brutal. You cannot afford to have that, obviously, in a playoff game. I don't know what to do with Ranger. I don't know how they handle him. Is he the third guy? Is he the fourth guy? Is he the guy that is that weapon out of the bullpen? You don't really have a fourth starter that you have a lot of confidence in right now. So I don't know what to think about that. But, yeah, I certainly am not overcome with confidence when it comes to Ranger Suarez. The thought we had on Friday, I want to see what you guys think. Who would you pitch in Game 2 on Sunday? At home, are you going with Christopher Sanchez or Aaron Nola? And obviously, I think they're going to go with Nola. But the splits for Sanchez decidedly better at home than he is on the road. So do you go with Sanchez at home because he pitches better at home and it's not close? I mean, he's got an ERA over 5 on the road, and at home he's in the 2s. So do you say, you know what? Let's make Sanchez comfortable. Nola's about the same on the road and at home. He's a little better at home. ZRA's in the mid-3s at home. It's in like the higher 3s on the road. But he's a veteran. He's a guy who's been there before. So you just say, you know what? Let's go with Nola in game 3 on the road, or go with Christopher Sanchez. What do you guys think? You can let me know. Got to vote for Nola there. Thank you for that. Yeah, I'm kind of conflicted on this one. I don't know what to think about Sanchez. Is he a guy that we wholeheartedly trust now and say, look, he had a great year, trust him? Big playoff moment. He really hasn't pitched a big playoff moment. He pitched in game 4 last year a couple times. But do we all of a sudden say Christopher Sanchez is the number 2 starter on a World Series winning team? I don't know about that. I'll have to think about it more. But what do you guys think? Let me know about that. All right. The lineup you saw last night, Austin Hayes hitting in the 9-0. He, by the way, hit a home run last night. He was the one guy that did do something offensively. I've been pretty steadfast on platooning left field with Marsh and Hayes and having Rojas start in center field. I don't know what they're going to do, but the last couple games, Hayes has played left, Marsh has played center, Rojas has been on the bench. I've been pretty adamant that I would play Rojas in center, platoon the 2 guys in left. Marsh has been dreadful against lefties. Hayes has been dreadful against righties. Hayes has been fine against lefties. Marsh has been good against righties. So it seems pretty obvious there. Put your best defense out there with Rojas in center, Marsh in left, and then Hayes in left and Rojas in center. Now you have Marsh that can hit for Hayes and Hayes that can hit for Marsh. And you have other bats that you feel better about this year that could hit for Rojas in big situations. I don't know what they're going to do, but it seems that right now they're giving Hayes that left field every day, and Marsh is in center. The question is Marsh going to platoon with Rojas, or is Marsh going to play every day against even left-handed pitching? Don't know what to think about that. But what I would do is I like Rojas in center, Hayes and Marsh platooning in left, and I would go that route. I don't know what they're going to do. They have 2 more games left, and then there's a whole week off. Then the speculation will start to begin. Phillies playoffs for me. One thing, Tyler Glasnow, he's out for the year for the Dodgers. Walker Buehler's been pitching better. Yamamoto. They announced their rotation for the NLDS. The Dodgers won 96 games this year with Yamamoto hurt for a lot of it. Glasnow hurt for a lot of it. They lost Mookie Betts for a time. Freeman. They've had so many injuries, the Dodgers, and they still won 96 games. All I'm asking Philly fans is don't take the Dodgers lightly, okay? Let's not just act like the Dodgers or whatever and take that team lightly. The Dodgers are a team that is really, really good, and I think this home field advantage thing isn't as important, but the Dodgers, whether you play them at Citizens Bank Park or Dodger Stadium, it's going to be tough. But the National League as a whole, the NL playoff run, the American League playoff teams are set. They have all clinched. Kansas City won 56 games last year. They were 56 and 106, and they ended up making the playoffs this year. Isn't that unbelievable? What a turnaround. 56 wins to the playoffs the very next year. But the National League is still coming down to it. Arizona lost, the Mets lost. Right now, it's the Mets and the Braves are the 2 teams that are in. The Diamondbacks are currently out if the playoffs were to start today. So it's a great, awesome weekend. You got college football. You got these baseball crazy playoff opportunities. And, of course, the football tomorrow. So let's get into the football. The matchup between the Eagles and the Buccaneers. So Buccaneers have some injury issues. The Eagles have some injury issues. I don't know if the Eagles are going to have A.J. Brown or not. I have a feeling Lane Johnson's going to be ready to play. If Lane Johnson plays, it's a big boost to this team and what they can do offensively. But it's a tricky spot here. Tampa lost last week at home. They look terrible in doing so. So they bounce back at home. Here's what I think the difference in the game is, okay? I think the difference in this game is really Jalen Carter and the ability that he showed last week. Can he do that again this week? Because if Jalen Carter is the player he was last week and he is a disruptor, I think the Eagles have enough on defense that they should be able to disrupt Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield sacked, 7, 8 times? They've been sacked more than any quarterback in the league, 7, 8 times in one game. I think Hutchinson got him like 5 times in one game. I think Jalen Carter could be the reason why the defense holds up their end of the bargain, and the Eagles' offense has to be better this week than it was last week, now knowing the full week what they're going to have in there. So I like the Eagles in this game, in this spot, even though Tampa, the Eagles are favored in the game, unless that has changed since we ended up going live here. So I definitely think the Eagles have an opportunity to steal another game on the road and then go into their bye, and then they should come out of that bye with everybody back healthy, ready to go against the Cleveland Browns in 2 weeks. So that's my key. I think Jalen Carter, and the guy I gave game ball to, I think is going to have a really big impact in this game, is Zach Baun. I think Baun has a big deal in this game. And for whatever reason, I just have a hunch that Zach Baun is going to be the guy that ends up having the big game this weekend. And I look forward to seeing how that all plays out. So Zach Baun, my game ball there, and Saquon Barkley, I think on offense, he's set up for a big game today. Vita Vea might not play. Kalijah Cansey not going to play. Winfield out for Tampa Bay. So I think it sets up pretty good for Barkley to have a big game. Not that that's a big surprise there. Karl Anthony Towns was traded last night, right around 10:15 on a Friday night. The first post-Woj bomb by Shams was sent out there. I like the trade for Philadelphia. To me, Karl Anthony Towns, good offensive player, sometimes very good offensive player. Not a consistently very good offensive player. Not a tough guy. Why were the Knicks so successful? They were tough. I said it before. When they lost Hartenstein and replaced him really with Bridges, that was kind of the swap there. Hey, we'll let Hartenstein walk, Bridges. All right, now you have Bridges and DiVincenzo. DiVincenzo, how many big shots did he hit? The heart and toughness of Dante DiVincenzo and Isaiah Hartenstein. How do they replace that? Well, they replace it with Karl Anthony Towns, a guy that toughness has been questioned. The Knicks' identity was toughness. Have they lost a little bit of that identity in terms of better skill? I know Knicks fans probably think, man, now we have Karl Anthony Towns. I think as a Sixer fan, you should be happy with this. Karl Anthony Towns has had horrible nights against Joel Embiid. Karl Anthony Towns banging with Joel Embiid in a 7-game series. Don't know how that's going to go for Karl Anthony Towns. And Dante DiVincenzo, a shot maker for them. Big-time shot maker. Loves the moment. The Villanova thing, that's out the window now. The Randall part of it, he wasn't a part of that team last year, but I know he was a guy that, scored for that team. I don't look at that as part of this, like Randall wasn't really a part of that run last year, so it's hard to kind of incorporate him in here. But losing DiVincenzo and Hartenstein before that, man, I think that's a tough loss for the Knicks. Getting Karl Anthony Towns feels like it sets up for a better regular season. I'm not sure what it means for the postseason for the Knicks. So there's some thoughts on a Saturday. What games are you interested in? I got this weekend. I'm watching this Minnesota-Michigan game is on kind of to my left over here. I'm sitting out on the back porch. I got the 2 TVs on behind me over there, the 1 TV inside that I can see through the window. Love the Saturday, Sunday. By the way, the sun just came out, so looks like it's going to be a nice weekend, possibly after all. Phillies down in Washington tonight. It will be Zach Wheeler's last time on the mound. I gave you some Philly thoughts earlier. For the people that are watching right now, I would like you to do me a favor, if you could. Subscribe to the YouTube channel at Mike Gill Show. It's free. All you have to do is hit the subscribe button, and you'll get an alert whenever we go live during the week, during the weekdays, during the mornings, during the weekends, and we give you more videos like this and more content on the YouTube channel at Mike Gill Show and the X platform at Mike Gill Show. If you're watching on the X platform, just hit the like button or retweet and or repost, I guess they call it now, and we would appreciate if you do that as well. Holy mackerel, Saturday afternoon, getting ready for college football, long day of it, and of course the NFL tomorrow. If we can get some thoughts on the Eagles and Bucks, I had the Eagles winning the game. I think, as I said earlier, Jalen Carter makes a big difference. Zach Bond gets my game ball, and don't be surprised if we see a big play from kind of somebody that we're not talking about today. Maybe a Milton Williams. I really like Milton Williams. All right. I think we're about out of it. I just watched the Mr. McMahon documentary, by the way. Thought it was all right. A little more about the business. Obviously it got clouded with everything that happened after, because nobody could really talk about it until like the last 10 minutes of the whole thing. So I don't know. It's worth watching. Probably could have been better. A little slow at times. But if anybody has a recommendation on something that we should watch as the Phillies have an entire week off, let me know in the comments section. All right, everybody, have a great Saturday, and we will catch up with you later here on the Mike Gill Show on YouTube.